And welcome back to the EVT Alliance Opens, where we have our first best of three, which is the winner's bracket of Templis CALSF versus the Tuskers. Ms., can you tell me all about the Templis CALSF team?
So they brought the classic command ship and the Loki comp. The only difference is that they have Sleipnirs instead of Nighthawks, but the Sleipnir is still well known for being a good rush command ship. And they all warp their core in at 0 while their scalpels and the Bifrost is at 20 kilometers.
And the Tuskers have brought what looks like it could be a rush, but once again, as they have been doing for the last couple matches of the tournament, these are actually sniping ships with heavy missile Lokis and railgun vultures. I think this is the first time we've seen vultures in this tournament so far, so we're going to see how well they perform.
I'm not sure if it's the first time they've been seen, but this might be the first time they're going to win. But as the match has begun, we see that Tuskers team has been scattering and trying to run away. They have one Loki that's burning in for some reason. That makes no sense at all. And this looks like the Templis team is going for that Loki.
Yeah, he might have pushed the wrong button, but they are actually sniping down the Scalpel of Sephoi right now, who does go down pretty quickly. And the Loki on the Tusker side that's taking quite a bit of damage, as we would expect from this command ship Loki ham rush on the Templis side.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they sacrificed that Loki to get the scalpels or what they were doing, as he has been whipping the scalpels so they can snipe them, but is it really worth trading a Loki for those two scalpels? I'm not sure.
I'm not really sure either. He does go down, and the Scalpel of Doan is probably going to drop as well. Looks like they got the webs on. I think you might have been right. He did burn in just to get the webs off, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. Valador is pretty well tackled in his Loki, and he is starting to slow down as well. So both Scalpels are dead for a Loki on the Tuskers side.
Yeah, it looks like the Tuskers have started sniping the Striples, which is a really good choice since they can be good at running down the vultures and catching them.
That is true, and there is a massive amount of EC300s on both of those Fipples as well, so, or at least one of the Fipples, and then there's a ton of EC300s on the Scalpels. I think we're going to see Templis is trying to do sort of the classic Fipples go solo your logistics, and we just had a Loki just drop really, really quickly there.
This is not good at all for the Tuskers team. They have lost 2 Lokis and only managed to kill the Scalpels and a Stripple now. This is not, I don't think it's a good target calling for them. They're behind and they really need some miracle to catch up.
I don't think either. And those the Fipples they did actually take down one of the Scalpels on their way. The last Fipple of Templis CALSF is taking quite a bit of damage here. I'm not sure they're going to be able to keep him up. He's pretty far away. And rep drones are really just not that strong. So they're going to trade a Fipple for a Jackdaw, but this is going to turn into pretty much a DPS kiting DPS thing, which we've seen Tuskers win that fight several times so far, but this time Templis does have Lokis, so they're not going to be able to just kite ships that are slower than them the entire time.
Yeah, the Tuskers lost their range control when their Lokis went down. Meanwhile, the Templis still have both of their Lokis, 3 Lokis alive. So that's even worse for the Tuskers team. And VLD in the Vulture has been pinned down, and he's taking a massive amount of damage from these Sleipnirs and Lokis.
Yeah, the last Spartan is dropping as well, but much slower. We're really seeing the difference between those heavy assault missiles versus railguns. VLD does drop. He was actually on top of and trying to burn into Smart Bomb off the last amount of rep drones. So I think he got caught and realized that, well, he might as well make some use of that high slot utility high that he has. The last Spartan is slowly going down here. I'm not really feeling this for Tuskers this time. I think their kiting comp days might be over here.
Well, they tried to dodge the Nighthawk ban by bringing vultures instead, but the issue with vultures is that they are slow and they don't do the same amount of damage, so they just don't work as kiting ships like the Nighthawks do.
No, and they do take down the last Spartan's Loki. That was inevitable to a degree, just because there's no logistics and there's very, very few rep drones left on field. They got a couple of them, and then a little bit of reps going on to Silas, but again, like, it's very, very difficult to escape when Templis has 2 of their Lokis up. They have this crazy long web range still, so we'll see. I'm not really feeling it. The kiting is, it's a really cool idea, but it kind of works assuming they don't have these long range webs, assuming their ships aren't slower than yours. So,
well, if the Tuskers still had their Lokis alive, then it could have been different since they gave them some range control, but the Loki's went down so fast since they were primaried by the Templis team, which was a really good target call for them. So now Tuskers have no control when they're trying to kite a setup that has long range reps.
Yeah, and we're seeing the Vulture of Siljust go down here. Well, Tuskers is trying to take down a Sleipnir. Vulture's about to drop, and he goes down, but Oracle's Sleipnir, he's just been boosting. Like, you can see the power of that self-rep. You know, it's okay, so your Logi's dead, but it doesn't matter if your ship can just keep up through it. And just a Vulture and 3 Jackdaws left on the Tuskers side is DPS, which that's really not that much versus a pretty much fully intact core on Templis' side.
And that's another really big downside of the rail vultures. If someone gets on top of you, you will struggle to track against them. In the meantime, Nighthawks, even if targets were close to you, it didn't matter because you still had the same application.
And they might be able to take Oracle down. I'm guessing the XLASB is on reload now. Mirachev is doing his best. He's trying to escape, but he's very much webbed down and tackled now. And the Sleipnirs are on top of him. The Lokis are getting to be in range right here. It's kind of over in this match. Now remember, this is a best of 3, so just because Tuskers has lost, this doesn't really actually mean all that much unless they lose the next one. So they're very much still in the winner's bracket. It was a really cool attempt. I think they would have actually done really well against most of the teams that they fought up to this point, but up against Templis, maybe this kiting wasn't such a good idea.
At least not with the Vultures. It could maybe have worked with the Nighthawks, but still, it's a really strong team. So when you have kiting against a strong team, you have to be really on your ball and do perfect target calling. And I don't think Tuskers had a very good beginning in this match.
No, what do you think they could have done better, just out of curiosity, since we probably still have a couple minutes before this gets cleaned up?
Like, losing that one Loki at the beginning was just painful for them. I have no idea what's going on. They should have been burning away all of them and trying to slow down the approach of the Templis as much as possible. And they didn't do that. The thing is, when you're fighting a kiting setup against a rush setup, you really want to make use of the time it takes for the rush setup to get on top of you. If you don't get enough value out of that, then you're going to be behind the rest of the match.
Yeah, I wonder if the Loki that went down, if he'd meant to go in like that, or if it was, their plan was, oh well, if we take the scalpels out, we can slowly wear them down. But I don't think that really works all that well. Especially, Sleipnirs have such good self-repair and all of the rep drones and everything. We've seen a lot of logistics trades just over this weekend and last weekend, and they don't really seem to be all that important.
Well, on the other hand, the Vultures are really tanky as well. So even if they had the Logi trait, then it could still be okay for Tuskers. But losing their range control was the nail in their coffin that made them lose this match.
Yeah, no, we're kind of just watching them. They did finally catch up to one of the Jackdaws of Skylar. He's got the webs on him. He's going to go down soon here too, and then Lacola is going to go down as well. So from what I understand, since this is not the finals, Templis CALSF could just bring this exact same comp again unless it's banned out. So from what we've seen of Tuskers, do they have anything that can really go up against this, or are they going to have to pull something new out of the bag?
Well, I'm not sure if they can beat Templis with a Loki-based setup. So if they're not confident in doing that, then they'll have to either see if they can bait out the Templis in the Loki setup and then bring a counter to it, or to just span the Loki and then bring something else.
And it does look like Lacolo is heading for an MJD beacon. Hopefully he's going for the record here, though. It looks like he's slowing down a little bit. He is asking for negotiations, and they're saying now we're up to 2 Vanquishers on TQ to allow him to live. So, very, very important stuff here that's happening. Hopefully they can finish him off soon here, because these guys do need to kind of, maybe they're running the clock out a little bit to start thinking about the next match. They do only get about like 10 to 15 minutes to really prepare, which is always rough. There's the MJD. All right, he's going for it. Let's see how far he gets.
Yeah, the Jackdaw is not known to be a fast ship, so it's going to be hard for him to break the record.
Oh yeah, only 213 kilometers. Actually, 215. He got farther than I thought he would. So, good uses of GMJD there. 6 kilometers off of our current record. But with that, Templis CALSF does win 100-47, and we're going to be having a rematch of these guys for our second match of our hopefully best of 3.